What's going on YouTube? It's the Savage Yu-Gi-Oh! Judge coming to you with a Shaddoll Invoked deck profile for the April 2021 format. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know how you think this deck looks. Let me know how average you think this deck is. Let me know how savage you think this deck is. Let's get right into it. I've been playing this deck since the ban list. I think this deck is absolutely insane. It is extremely versatile. And yeah, let's just get into it. So it's Invoked. We play 3 Alistair. This is the only correct number. We don't play 2, we don't play 1, we don't play 0. We play 3. Card's just absolutely broken. For the Shaddoll lineup, we play 8 Shaddolls. We play 2 Wendy, 2 Squamata, 1 Beast, 1 Hedgehog, 1 Dragon, and 1 Ariel. I think this ratio is absolutely perfect. There are times where I am wanting another copy of Beast or another copy of Ariel, but there are times where you're just able to recycle them with a Rest Shaddoll Incarnation. And yeah, as you all know, Wendy gets you any Shaddoll monster face down to your field. Squamata is essentially any other Shaddoll card. Beast lets you draw a card. Hedgehog lets you search for a monster. Dragon pops a spell or trap. And Ariel is triple DD Crow. We do play a small Dogmatika engine, so I play 1 Ecclesia and 1 Fleur-de-lis. There have been times where I do want a second Ecclesia, but I think this ratio is perfectly fine for right now. For the hand traps, I main deck 3 copies of Artifact Lancia. The locals that I go to and the remote duels that I attend tend to have a lot of Dino decks that are represented, and this card just absolutely shuts down Dino to where they instead end on just a Link Revo and then sometimes a rank 4. But a lot of the times they don't end with UTC, which is just an absolute nightmare of a card to deal with. So 3 Lancia is just absolutely broken. And to round it off, we play 3 Ash Blossom. It's the most generic hand trap of the format. Hits too many cards to not play. And yeah, being able to stop Red Eyes Fusion with this and then forcing your opponent to just not be able to summon for the turn, too good. For the spells, we play 3 Magical Meltdown and 1 Terraforming to search it. Magical Meltdown should not be a realistic card. It says your opponent can't respond to anything when you fusion summon, but you just have to be aware that this is only applied when the fusion summon is the last thing to happen. So yeah, Meltdown, I honestly think this card should go to 1, just to balance out the power of it, but yeah. 2 Invocation. I think this is the perfect number. There's no reason to play 3. 3 is just way too perky, and 1 is just not enough. 3 Nadir Servant to go along with the Dogmatika package. This plus Alistair ends you on a board of Makaba, Ecclesia, Schism, Punishment off of only 2 cards. And then, so if you have, say, a Lancia or an Ash Blossom to follow up with, this card's just absolutely insane and sets up so much advantage off 2 cards. For the Shaddoll package, we play 3 regular Shaddoll Fusion. This card's just disgusting, being able to fusion summon from your deck. You do play plenty of light targets, like your Lancias and the Ecclesia and the Fleur-de-lis. And being able to send those to the grave and then add them back with Servant is just nets you so much advantage as well. 1 El Shaddoll Fusion. This is, I've been contemplating playing 2 of this, but the reason that you need this sometimes is to either kill your opponents through battle, or if you're reading that your opponent has Cosmic Cyclone, this doesn't lose to Cosmic Cyclone, so it essentially does the same thing as Schism. 3 Super Poly. We're going to read this, the last sentence of this card. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Enough said. Being able to break boards and your opponent can't respond. Enough said. This card should be banned. 2 Pot of Prosperity. I found 3 was just way too bricky. There were times where I was just opening multiples of this, and then you can't resolve Beast during your initial combo, especially when you have to dig for pieces later on in your combo if you're interrupted by a specific hand trap. So I think 2 is just the perfect amount to play. For the traps, we play 2 Dogmatika Punishment. I know some people are only playing 1. I think this is perfect for the late game grind. since we have plenty of cards that we can send from the extra deck to the grave. And then 2 traps, 1 Resh and 1 Schism. Schism decks are just completely unfair. Window's just a completely unfair card, especially under Magical Meltdown. That's it for the main deck. I believe it's 42 cards, or something like that. We'll go right into the extra deck first. So for the Shaddolls, we play 2 Construct, 2 App Cologne, and 2 Winda, 6 Shaddolls. There are times where a 3rd Construct or a 3rd App Cologne do come up, but the extra deck space for this deck is extremely tight, given that you have all of the... you have 1 Dogma card extra that you have to send, which is the Elder Entity Natis, and some extra Invoke stuff that you just have to play. Speaking of the Invoke stuff, we play 2 Invoked Makaba, 1 Augades, and 1 Kaliga. I was playing Invoked Raijin recently, but the Bird Up deck, that deck has just been falling off. There's only 1 person at my locals who plays it, and you know, there aren't really many times where you actually need Raijin. You know, Book of Moon is nice, but a Book of Moon isn't going to do too much against a lot of rogue decks. It's not going to do a lot against Dino. It's not going to really do much in that aspect. There's a lot of Dino at my locals too, so Kaliga is just a little bit better in my opinion. For the links, we play 1 Artemis, 1 Gravity Controller, 1 Verte Anaconda. Really standard. Don't really need to explain any of these. This is your light, so you can get into a Makaba for free. This you summon off with your App Cologne, so you can search your Schism, and Anaconda is just Anaconda, so you can threaten Dragoons, even though we don't play it. But you're able to send Shaddoll Fusion and continue your plays from there. And then I play 1 copy of Warlord Dragon. I wanted another win condition in this deck, and there are times where I wish I was able to play Cross Sheep somewhere in here, because Cross Sheep does come up to where you just need to summon a monster back and then go for game with Borrelsword. But yeah, this card's absolutely broken. Finally, for the side deck, the only 3 monsters we play in the side deck are 3 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is Nibiru. It's an absolutely insane card. Enough said. For spell and trap removal, I play 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Lightning Storm, and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. I've thought about cutting the Lightning Storms. I haven't really sided them in recently against anything. But there are times where I just want to side in Droll and Lockbird for the Dragon matchup. And yeah. And the last 6 cards in my deck are 3 Forbidden Droplets and 3 Ice Dragon's Prison. Droplets is pretty decent in this board, or in this deck, since you can always just send all your extra Shaddoll spells and traps, and you can recycle those through the fusions. And then Ice Dragon's Prison is a card that I wanted to use that's non-targeting, non-destroying, and it's able to summon and banish. So the only card this card really loses to is Artifact Lancia, in which case you just still summon a monster back, and you take away a potential resource from your opponent. But yeah, that is it, guys, for this Invoked Dogma Shaddoll deck profile. If you liked what you saw, once again, leave a like down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you think you could improve this deck. Let me know what changes you would make. If you like this video, let me know how average or savage this deck is. And yeah, don't be average, be savage. And hope you guys have a great day. Peace.